There we go. There we go. Come on. Come on. What's up, guys? Here we go. Buzzbait fish. Hey guys, Travis here again. Today, we're talking buzzbaits. You know what? A lot of people make excuses, especially beginner anglers, of why not to throw them. Whether they're too noisy, too big and bulky. So today, we're gonna use Strike King Sugar Buzz to really break down the basics of this bait and hopefully give you the confidence to go out and try it in your local pond. Okay guys, when breaking down the Sugar Buzz, you're gonna notice this bait is different, right? It's got a free swinging hook. Now with traditional buzz baits, it's a straight shank all the way to the hook. And most times people put a trailer bait on there to add a little more action and then put a trailer hook to increase their hookup ratio. This buzz bait is great right out of the box without those things, although you can add them if you'd like. But the first reason is, as you're retrieving this bait through the water column, it actually pulsates up and down. This skirt has tons of action because it's free swinging. Second, when fish go to bite, they actually suck in a lot of water. As they're going, everything around's getting pulled towards them. With this free swinging hook, when the water's getting moved and pulled towards the mouth, this bait is actually getting pulled towards the boat, so it can get pulled away. But that hook is gonna get pulled towards where the water's being pulled, and when that fish chomps down, you're gonna get a lot better hookup ratio, which means a lot more fish in the boat. Next is the setup I use. When I spool up with the line, I like Seagar's 12 to 20 pound mono or fluorocarbon, or I'll go to a 20 to 40 pound braid. I spool that up on Daiwa's Tatula 7.3 to 1 reel. I like a high speed reel so I can really be in control of the speed I'm retrieving this thing at. Lastly, I pair that up with Castaway 6'10" medium action spinnerbait rod. When choosing a rod selection, ultimately it's up to you. I think the most important thing when throwing this bait is where and how you're throwing it. So if you want to use a medium heavy spinning rod or even a heavy action bait casting rod, it's really up to the preference and what feels best to you. Here we go. Here we go. Wow, this one's a good fish too. Come on, baby. Sugar Buzz. Look at the hook set. That hook was able to get a perfect hook right in the top of the jaw right there. Next, let's move on to retrieval. So when throwing a buzz bait, rule number 1, this is a topwater bait. It's fished most effectively when on top of the water. So if you just cast out, give a moderate retrieve, you are gonna keep these blades spinning, kicking up water, and you're gonna have success. But if you want to take a buzzbait to the next level, there are some slight little adjustments you can make that can make this bait a lot more effective. The first thing being adjusting the speed of the retrieve. Sometimes these fish want it fast, sometimes they want it slow, sometimes they want it in between. There's times when they want real hard reels where you're making a lot of noise, kicking up a lot of water, then you slow it down and that's when they crush it. Keep in mind, this is gonna change from lake to lake, but also even day to day on the same body of water. It depends what kind of mood the fish are in or what the weather's doing and all the variables. So always be adjusting those retrieves, figuring out what those fish want. Okay, so let's go over some quick modifications right now. If you squeeze these arms together a little more, this blade's gonna hit that head of the bait right here, and it's gonna make a lot of noise. Big commotion, it's gonna really generate some strikes from some big bass. But if you're fishing clear water, or these fish are real finicky and you don't wanna make as much noise, if you just pull these arms apart a little bit, you're actually, this blade's not gonna hit the head, and you're gonna get more of a subtle noise just spitting up that water. That can also be extremely effective. What I like to do is there's a nice little sweet spot that you can find as you adjust these a little bit, that when you reel fast and hard, this bait's gonna come together a little bit and it's gonna clank off that head, making the noise when you want it. But then when you slow it down, it reduces the noise because these arms spread out a little bit and you're gonna fish a little quieter, and that's when you're gonna get some of these strikes. All right, now we're on location. When we're talking about where to throw this thing, shallow water is the ideal places. Now, when fish move up shallow, they feel vulnerable if they're just sitting in open water, they don't have anything to hide around. So they're gonna look for structure like tules, brush piles, logs to really tuck up under and feel more comfortable. And that's also where they're gonna ambush prey a lot more. So this bait needs to be thrown around any of that kind of cover or even through. This buzzbait, as you bounce it through tules or over logs, it looks very vulnerable when it bounces and ricochets off something, and that's a lot of times when you're gonna trigger those strikes. So The second thing with location is you can really cover a lot of water with it. I turn my trolling motor up to 5, 6, 7 power, and I really cover a bank because I can cast this thing a long ways and retrieve it quickly, and I can find out if there's any active fish in the area. All right guys, when's the best time to throw a buzzbait? I'll start as early as late February, early March. But the reality is the consistent buzzbait turns on when those little fry, those baby bass start showing up in the shallows. That means the eggs have hatched and there's all these little tiny baby fry swimming around in the shallows, and that buzzbait bite will start getting real consistent. And that will last all the way through late fall when those bait fish are schooled up in the shallows as well. But I know you guys are fishing from shore and stuff and you're going, well, my local pond, I don't know if the Gulf pond, the smaller pond is gonna have any big fish that are gonna hit that. That's nonsense. Next time you guys walk up that little pond, you're trying to figure out what to throw, tie on the sugar buzz, throw a couple casts around. Within 4 casts, you're gonna be able to figure out if there's buzzbait fish or not, because you're gonna be able to make 2 casts down the whole length of that little pond, a couple across it, and I promise you, if you do that every time you walk up to these little ponds you fish and stuff, you are gonna have a lot more cool Instagram photos to show your buddies and tag your boy Travis in. If you haven't learned by now, I am ecstatic about throwing buzzbaits, but hopefully I've conveyed that to you guys and give you guys a little confidence to go out and throw it for yourself. And I promise you, with the Strike King Sugar Buzz, the free swinging hook, this bait is a perfect starting point for buzzbaits, and is gonna be a bait that's gonna be a new tool in your arsenal. Once again, guys, I'm Travis with Lucky Tackle Box. If you enjoyed the video, throw us one of those thumbs up and make sure you hit the subscription box below. Also, for any details on the tackle or gear we used in this video, check the description box for some links. Okay, so there's actually a few benefits directly related to the Sugar Buzz bait itself. Ooh, we got the fish ready to eat back there. You'll notice this is a free swinging hook. This has 2 major advantages. First, I think I'm being attacked by some fish. All right, guys, all right. They want the Sugar Buzz, they want the Sugar Buzz. All right, here you go, boys, Sugar Buzz.